Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Roo'S Reviews. I'm doing my very first cooking video. I've got something that I'm really excited about to share with you. I didn't want to do just, any regular old recipe. I wanted to do something unique and unusual that hopefully a lot of you may not have tried and perhaps inspire you to maybe check it out. What I'm going to do is a recipe that actually originates in the southern states, specifically in the region of the Ozarks and Appalachia. I'm going to do something that's called chocolate gravy. Chocolate gravy sounds really weird. Gravy is defined as a sauce made with meat drippings and thickened, and this is not actually a gravy despite the name. It's actually a sauce, really similar probably to a flour thickened chocolate pudding or a fudge sauce, and it is not actually a gravy, though it's used like one, and it is not in fact savory and doesn't include any savory ingredients. Let's just get that out of the way right now. It's not as weird as it sounds. In fact, this is a dessert item popularly eaten for breakfast on Sundays in the states where it originated. So there's a bit of a debate about the best way to create chocolate gravy in the places where it originated. Some people swear by using bacon grease, which I said there were no savory ingredients in this. The version that I'm making doesn't have any savory ingredients, and obviously bacon grease would be a savory ingredient. The alternative is to use butter. Basically what chocolate gravy is a roux flavored with sugar and cocoa powder. A roux is a mixture of fat and flour that's used to thicken sauces and stews. And so that's basically what we're starting with here is a little flour and butter as our fat. And like I said, some people swear by using bacon grease. That's something that you can try on your own. I don't have any bacon grease handy right now, so I'm not going to be trying that variation. But I'm going to do something that has a bit more of a wider appeal to people, I think. So we're going to use butter instead of the bacon grease. And chocolate gravy historically is made with cheap, easily available ingredients to people who are a little on the poorer side of things. So these would be things that would be readily available to people who live on farms. I have never been to the southern states. I can't really speak to the authenticity of this recipe I'm going to try. I do have a fascination with food and with cultures from other parts of the world, and this is something that I heard about online, and I did my best to do the research to try to find out exactly what authentic chocolate gravy is so that I can make that recipe. This is something that I have made a couple times in the past, so I am familiar with the recipe. Again, I'm California born and raised. I have never even been to the South. So if I'm doing something a little wrong and you happen to be from the South and you happen to know what it is, feel free to let me know. And hopefully, we'll be able to, I'll be able to address that in the comments. So I'm going to go through the list of ingredients we have right here. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. So first up, we have 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1/4 cup of plain cocoa powder. This is unsweetened cocoa powder. You can use any brand you like. I'm using Hershey's. You can use pretty much any kind of cocoa powder. Just make sure it's not sweetened because we are adding the sugar. The next ingredients we have for thickening our roux is 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then we have 2 cups of milk. And we're going to add that to the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients all get mixed together first, and then the milk will get added slowly so that we can moisten the ingredients, thicken the milk, and everything comes together and forms our gravy. And then at the very end, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of softened butter. I've probably got a glare on that so you can't really see it, but there is softened butter in there. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla right at the very end. This comes after the cooking. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can make your buttermilk biscuits from scratch. I'm going to go the cheap and easy route because I'm not doing a video about how to cook biscuits. So I'm just going to use Pillsbury Grands. And these are Southern home-style buttermilk biscuits. Pop these in the oven. They work perfectly fine. If you want to get really fancy, like I said, you can make your biscuits from scratch. It's something that I would like to do at some point. Something I've done in the past. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go quick and easy. So cooking has always been a passion of mine ever since my mom first taught me how to cook when I was about 10 years old. I started with simple things like pancakes, scrambled eggs, French toast, all the good breakfast stuff. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I'm happy to share this video with you, and I hope you enjoy it. And I hope this is the first of many to come. Okay, so I've baked my biscuits, and I'm going to go ahead and whisk together my dry ingredients first, get those all combined. And then we'll slowly add the milk, and then we'll go ahead and heat that up until it thickens. Okay, so once again, we have 3/4 cup of white sugar that goes into the bowl right here. Go ahead and get all that in. I've got my 1/4 cup of Hershey's cocoa. Go ahead and dump that in together with the sugar. And I've got my 3 tablespoons of flour, so we'll get those all mixed together. Go ahead and whisk those up. Forgive the awkwardness of my setup here. I don't currently have a kitchen of my own. I'm actually borrowing one right now. So please, I hope you don't mind the crudeness of my setup here. I'm not even mixing on the counter. I'm just going to hold the bowl like this and go ahead and stir it up. And what you want is to get all the ingredients well combined. Try to hold it up so you can see all the ingredients well combined, and you want to mix it so that there are no lumps. Sometimes the cocoa will want to clump together. We want that nice and mixed well and combined with the other ingredients, the flour and the sugar, so that when we mix in the milk, everything's nice and smooth. So there you can see my mixed dry ingredients. They're all nice and combined. We're going to go ahead and add the milk. I'm going to whisk while I'm pouring. To my dry ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and slowly add, while I'm whisking, my 2 cups of milk. And we just want to get that nice and combined and smooth so that everything's mixed together. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. In fact, you can probably just go ahead and dump it all together pretty quickly. This recipe is it's designed to be pretty simple, so it doesn't need to be, you don't need to take too much care with putting your ingredients together. You're just saving yourself the hassle of a lot of lumps later if you mix everything well slowly. So I'm going to go stir that up nice and good so that all of my dry ingredients are nice and moist. And you can see what I end up with here is a nice liquid mixture of cocoa, sugar, and flour. Once that's all combined, I'm going to go ahead and add this to a saucepan. Just going to dump it all in, straight into the pot. I said saucepan, I meant pot. Right. Let's get all that in there. We don't want to waste any of that chocolatey goodness. Now we're going to cook and stir it over medium heat for about 7 to 10 minutes until it's nice and thick and gravy-like in its consistency. This isn't something that needs to be stirred constantly, but you should stir it fairly frequently. You don't want the milk to scorch on the bottom. You don't want the sugar to start crystallizing. So we want to keep this thing, moving fairly regularly so that we get it nice and smooth. Okay, so my gravy is starting to thicken up really nicely here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and switch from the whisk now to a wooden spoon, and you can go ahead and see what that thickness looks like. It's starting to get like a gravy consistency, sort of like a beef gravy or a turkey gravy. So nice and thick, or even like a pudding. Go ahead and give it a taste. It's important when you're cooking to taste your foods and make sure they're coming out right while you're doing it. And that's part of the fun of cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off now. This is starting to get really thick, and we're going to remove it from the heat, in fact. And this is the point where we're going to go ahead and add our tablespoon of softened butter. So just dump that in there. Come on, get out of there. Wants to stick. And we're going to start to mix that in. This will add a nice buttery richness to the sauce. Go ahead and get it nice and stirred up until it's all incorporated. I'm a little far from my stovetop camera now, so you can't really see all that well. But anyway, that's what that looks like. The butter's getting nice and incorporated. And I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Let's go ahead and get that poured in there. There's that. And stir that in until it's nice and combined also. This actually gets nice and thick, this gravy, the longer you heat it up. So it's important at this point to keep stirring. And once your butter and your vanilla are all incorporated, the gravy is in fact done. And you can serve this immediately. So now traditionally you would serve this over biscuits. And I have these Pillsbury buttermilk biscuits that you saw me bake here. And so we're just going to go ahead and plate those up and pour the gravy right over the top. There's also a little bit of a debate over the technique of how to serve these. Some people in the South, from what I've read, prefer to crumble their biscuits up into a bowl and pour the gravy over the top and eat it like that. Most of the accounts that I've read tend to favor just putting the biscuits on a plate like you would biscuits and sausage gravy and pouring the chocolate gravy right over the top, which is the way I prefer. But it's completely up to you however you want to eat this. The fact is, it's great no matter what. Okay, so I've got my my biscuits plated up there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give my gravy a nice stir again. It's nice and smooth and silky, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoon that right over my biscuits. You can see how rich and how creamy and delicious looking that is. This is really a treat. Trust me. I'm gonna taste it for you and let you know, so you can see the look on my face, exactly what this looks like, exactly what it tastes like. But this is something you have to try for yourself. You really got to experience this. The closest that I can describe it without actually letting you taste it, since obviously none of you are here, is that it tastes a lot like a chocolate covered donut, which is really weird. It's something magical that happens when you get the biscuit together with the chocolate gravy on top. That it's really fantastic. So I've got my biscuits and chocolate gravy plated up. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you could, there are a lot of different variations that you can use when you're serving this. One of those variations is to use fresh fruit on top. You could put strawberries or sliced bananas. But one of the more popular ones that I've read of, I'm actually going to go ahead and do right now. We're going to try that. I have a secret ingredient, and that is crumbled bacon. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle a little crumbled bacon over the top of one of these. And chocolate and bacon is another one of those things. Cooking is alchemy. You put ingredients together and magic just happens. Chocolate and bacon is one of those things that's a lot like magic. You put them together. They seem really weird, but that sweet and that savory and the salty come together, and it's really a taste sensation. And it's really incredible. It's one of my favorite flavor combinations together. So I'm going to go ahead and try the plain. I'm going to try the chocolate gravy with bacon. But you could also sprinkle this with powdered sugar if you wanted it a little sweeter. I don't really recommend that. I think this chocolate gravy is sweet enough as it is. You could probably sprinkle peanuts on top. You could also use this chocolate gravy to top other things like pancakes, waffles, French toast. One of the things that occurred to me the first time I tried this was that the flavor kind of reminded me of the flavor of a chocolate milkshake with French fries. So what I did was, with my leftover chocolate gravy, was I went and got some McDonald's fries. McDonald's makes the best fries. And I used those to dip into my chocolate gravy. And let me tell you, it was fantastic. It was incredible. So I recommend that also. You could cook up some fries in the air fryer, or maybe even tater tots, and dip that into your chocolate gravy. You could pour it over pound cake. You could serve it over croissants, or even use it to dip croissants into. Some of you may have seen the challenge desserts chocolate butter review video. And it's kind of a similar concept to this, so I imagine if the chocolate butter works well on croissants, the chocolate gravy would also work really well. And this also works really well on top of ice cream as like a hot fudge sauce. Let's go ahead and dig in, and I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, so first I'm going to try just a plain biscuit and chocolate gravy. Let's go ahead and tear into that. And you can see that sauce is nice and thick and smooth. It's incredible. It's really decadent, fantastic. This is not something that you're going to want to eat every day. You may want to eat it every day, but I really don't recommend that. It is a dessert. It's very sweet. It's got the butter and quite a bit of sugar and milk. But, you know, as a sweet treat, this is really fantastic. You can't go wrong with this. It's something that you can make easily. Most of you probably have all of these ingredients already in your pantry. These are really good. Chocolate gravy is not nearly as weird as it sounds. Now I'm going to go ahead and try the chocolate gravy with the crumbled bacon on top. I haven't tried this version before, so this is going to be a new experience for me. Really fantastic. Again, the sweet and the salty and the savoriness from the bacon just goes together as a perfect complement. It's really fantastic, really delicious. Let you know what that looks like on the side. I'm obviously not going to eat this whole plate. I have a couple people here that I'm going to share this with, but I just wanted you to see what it looked like. I've got Misty here. She's off camera. She doesn't really want to appear on camera, but she's going to try this and let you know how it tastes. Which one did you want to try? Bacon? No bacon? No bacon. Bacon? Okay. Let's get a piece of bacon. Biscuit and the chocolate gravy. Today is the 22nd anniversary of our first date. So happy anniversary to us. Yesterday was our 16th wedding anniversary. And it also happens to be Gabe's birthday today. Let us know what you think. Good? Mm-hmm. She says thumbs up. Trust me, she's pleased. She's the mom of the world's pickiest kids, so she can be a little picky too. If she likes it, this stuff is really good. In fact, I may not actually share any more of this. I might eat it all myself. This is really, really good. I haven't had any in a long time. And I'm happy to be having some right now. Really fantastic. So thanks for joining me on my very first cooking video. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're intrigued by the biscuits and chocolate gravy, and I hope it's something that you're interested in trying for yourself. It's a really easy recipe. I'll be sure to put the list of ingredients and the instructions in the description so you can try it at home. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell symbol for notifications. You'll get notified as soon as a new video goes up. I've got a lot more good stuff coming. I've got a lot of great snack reviews coming up. I've got some toy reviews coming, and hopefully a lot more cooking videos. I'll try to come up with some more stuff and get these out more regularly. This is something, again, I've wanted to be doing for a long time, and it feels good, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll tune in next time. And please like and share the video if you can. It helps me to get seen by other potential subscribers, by other people who may find these videos interesting, and hopefully by YouTube, so that this channel can continue to grow. Feel free to leave me some nice questions and comments below, and I'll do my best to respond to them. And please come back and join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.